legislature has started a 6-day meeting to talk about revisions to key laws and regulations in this country. Well, high on the agenda for the Standing Committee of the National People's Congress are two very important legal amendments, one to the Administrative Procedure Law allowing private units, private suits against the government, and a draft counter-espionage law. Ona starts us off.
Giving people legal recourse if their rights are infringed. The amendment to the Administrative Procedure Law expands people's right to sue the government if authorities fail to fulfill contracts on land issues. The drafted amendment has been submitted for a third reading.
After 2 deliberations on the draft amendment, we think it's necessary to expand some of its terms. The third draft amendment aims to streamline administrative litigation procedures in order to make it easier for people to file lawsuits against the government.
According to the draft, courts will launch administrative proceedings if the government is sued for violating agreements on land and house compensation or commercial operations franchised by the government. But this is just one of the many laws the top legislature is working on. Equally important is a draft counter-espionage law. Formerly known as national security law, the draft is expected to define what constitutes acts of espionage.
It's necessary to transform the current national security law into the counter-espionage law in order to build a comprehensive state security law. According to the draft, counter-espionage will work according to the law, respect and ensure human rights, and guarantee the legal interests of citizens and organizations.
During the session, lawmakers will also review a draft amendment to the criminal law and a draft anti-terrorism law. Also to be deliberated are 2 reports regulating the judicial acts in the courts and procuratory systems.
Former top Chinese military general has confessed to taking bribes. General Xu Caihou, the former vice chairman of the Central Military Commission, is still under investigation by prosecutors. When prosecutors say they've now filed their case, which includes details of Xu Caihou taking advantage of his position by helping others get promoted. In return, he accepted large amounts of money. The sums of cash involved are said to be extremely large, though the exact figures have not been released. In June this year, Xu was expelled from the Communist Party for violating discipline. He was discharged from the military and his rank of general was revoked. On the other hand, last December, he was diagnosed of a cancer in the bladder and was still under treatment. China has released a full detailed agenda on its efforts to comprehensively advance the rule of law. A document detailing all aspects of the decision has been issued. It states that the rule of law will be a central pillar of the country and will be fully implemented, with most reforms to be completed by the year 2020. Well, broadly speaking, the document states that China will adhere to a path of socialist rule of law with Chinese characteristics and speed up the construction of a socialist legal system with Chinese characteristics. The principle of equality before the law has been stressed. No organization or individual shall have privileges that transcend the Constitution and laws. China may borrow beneficial legal experience from abroad, but it should not completely adopt foreign legal concepts or models. The document stresses the need to strengthen the implementation of the Constitution, and December the 4th has been designated as National Constitution Day. All state personnel elected or appointed by the National People's Congress and its Standing Committee shall swear an oath to uphold the Constitution during their inauguration. Well, the principle of administration according to law has been heavily stressed, along with a call for strengthening the building of a transparent government strictly ruled by law. And government procedures will be streamlined, cutting red tape and reducing the list of things that need approval in the first place by the governments, along with efforts to restrict rent setting and rent